In the stairwell of the castle is a spear, Longinus, that will teach you about each weapon type. Fists are good weapons for repositioning enemy units without lifting and throwing. Triple Strike is incredibly helpful in the item world, especially in the early game. Fists depend on the attack stat. This changes in Disgaea Complete, where fist damage is based on the average of the attack and the speed stat. Swords are probably the most popular weapon because they specialize in hitting multiple opponents and rely on the attack stat. The best of these attacks is Wingslayer, which hits a 3x3. Spears are sort of like fists, only they're good at repositioning your unit instead of the enemy units. This can be great for hopping over other units. Their basic attack can also hit up to 2 spaces away, which can be very helpful. Spears are also based on the attack. Axes are the go-to if you want to do high damage to a single unit. Axe damage is based on the attack stat. One thing not explained very well about axes is that they also apply a defense debuff to the enemy unit. I don't really know the specifics about this, but I think this only applies to axe special skills. Bows are the go-to for inflicting opponents with status ailments. Unfortunately, bows are the only weapon that are dual stat focused. The exception is in Disgaea Complete, where fists are also dual stat focused. Bow damage is calculated by averaging the attack and hit stats. This makes it harder for bows to compete with other weapons because you have to increase the stat twice as much as any other item for the same amount of damage. Bows do get the benefit of being ranged, however. Guns, like bows, are ranged, and like axes, focus on dealing damage to a single target. Guns only use hit in their damage calculation, and a few of their skills have the fire damage attribute. Staves, unlike any other weapon, don't provide new skills as you increase staff weapon mastery. While staffs typically focus on boosting the int stat, their damage with basic attacks is based off the attack stat. Despite these drawbacks, staves can be extremely broken because in addition to boosting int more and more with weapon mastery, staves also amplify both magic skill damage and magic range. Notice how monster weapons aren't mentioned here? Disgaea has struggled with monsters and how to balance them in most of the franchise. Monsters have much higher base stats than humanoid units, but as a consequence, monsters do not have weapon mastery and can only equip attack-focused weapons. This is a huge drawback for int-based monsters such as the succubus.